Hi, welcome to this introduction to human design. Human design is something that is really gaining momentum, and the system that it can be a little bit complicated. So I thought I would offer up this free introduction because it has been such a valuable source to me. And if I can impart anything onto somebody else, to give them the tools to expand that just that little bit more, I thought that would be a really nice thing to do. Human design is something that I have been using for, I think, just over 8 years now. And it's a tool that I've been finding that can find me that freedom and that balance when it comes to running your own business, and also for my personal life, making decisions, and just really healing those parts of me that felt like they didn't fit and they didn't work out. And yeah, I'm really excited to share this introduction with you all. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. We'll chat about them all at the end. Yeah, let's get cracking. So I'm going to share with you this beautiful thing that is human design. So what is human design? Human design is made up of 5 main systems. We have the I Ching, we have astrology, we have chakras, we have the Kabbalah, and we have quantum physics. For me, my particular favorite thing in all of this is the chakras and astrology. Chakras, being an energy teacher and healer myself, I have a real kind of connection with how energy moves in a person's energy body, and how we can utilize that energy and work with that energy that will benefit ourselves. So these 5 different systems, as they come together, they are going to create something so different. And the more you kind of have a deeper understanding about your human design, you can also go into each of these systems as an individual system that will then give you more information about areas within your chart. So human design is a science of differentiation. What does that mean? That means that it's going to show us how we all have a unique design and what our specific purpose is whilst we're here on earth. And for me, that's been my thing, even as a child, like trying to be different, and really encouraging you to be different. And that's what human design does. It's like a spotlight. It's a mirror. It shows you where you are different, and to be different, to really be that person that you've come here to be. So on the left-hand side, you'll see a diagram, and this diagram is called a body graph, and it's full of colors. And right now, we're not going to worry about the colors. So this is something that we go into deeper when you have a one-to-one session with me, or when you come to any of my workshops and training courses. But right now, all you need to know is that your chart is going to reveal to you who you really are, how to be yourself, and how to navigate through a constantly changing world. It's really going to give you that guidance on how to align yourself with people who are going to enhance your vitality. They're going to support your life purpose, and they're going to share your true path. So, why human design? Human design is going to give us self-awareness. So it's going to show us how we're different. It's going to show us our strengths, our weaknesses. It's going to show us where we are naturally inclined to be, to go, to speak about. It's really going to help us in promoting our own self-awareness and our personal growth. It is fantastic at decision making. It's changed my world with decision making. It's really going to help you align to make a decision that's in alignment and that's authentic to yourself. It's really going to help you in relationships, because when you have a better understanding of yourself, you can use these same tools to have a better understanding of somebody else. We try to be in relationships with other, assuming that there's just one size fits all and how you are is how everybody is. But that's not the case. So when we bring in human design, it kind of can support us in understanding how somebody else will operate and how somebody else may be and how they may think and how they may show up. And this is a beautiful thing. It's going to guide us with regards to life purpose. Now, please remember that life purpose is not about your business. It's not about how you're going to earn your money. Life's purpose is how we show up in this world. Okay. And that's what human design does. It's really kind of showing us our talents, you know, what we are here to do. It's identifying those areas of natural competence where we are really here to make a significant impact in the world. What does come with human design, and there's this little caveat, is that there is healing and growth. Healing is going to take place. And where there's healing, there are areas that may be a little bit challenging. And to work through those challenges, that's where you begin to heal. What you are doing is you've been told up until this point that you must be and act and behave in a certain way. And human designs kind of go, that way might not actually be right for you. So you are reprogramming yourself. So you are having to kind of guide and teach yourself a whole different way of being, potentially. And this may be a little bit challenging, but the rewards that come with that is amazing. So when we are able to understand and embrace our design, you can really release those conditioned patterns and those conditioned beliefs, and they're not going to serve you. They don't serve you. So you can release them, really leading to an increased self-acceptance, self-love, and personal transformation. So where do you start? You're going to go to a website. Now, there are quite a few. This one is one that I like to use, and it's the mybodygraph.com. So it's www.mybodygraph.com. So I would pause this video now, and you could go onto My Body Graph if you haven't done so already. And you're going to create a whole new body graph. This will be free. You will need to hand your date of birth, your time of birth, and your town of birth. Your time of birth will need to be exact because it changes all the time. Now, if you are watching this and you do not have your time of birth and there is absolutely no way that you can get hold of it, that's okay. It might be that it just means that human design is not for you, and it's not for you to find out these things. It may be something that you do for other people, okay? So this is my chart. This is called My Body Graph. And whenever I refer to the body graph, this is what I'm referring to. So you can see in this picture to the right-hand side, it says type. And my type is manifesting generator. And that's what we're going to go over in this short talk. We're going to go through all the different types that they are and how you are here to show up in this world. So, energy types. There are 5 different types, and these can be split into sacrals and non-sacrals. Why? There are 9 centers within the body graph. The 9 centers are where we look at the chakras as well. So it's the connection between the chakras and the centers. And this is the area that I find fascinating and the area that I work with a lot. So one of the centers is called the sacral center. And when that sacral center is colored in, it's referred to as a defined sacral center. When your center is colored in, when it's defined, you are a sacral being. You have consistent energy for that particular center. It's a generator. It's a movement. It's a going, okay? So the 2 types that fall under the sacral being is a generator and a manifesting generator. Now you can see by the percentages along the side that the generators and the manifesting generators are quite a significant amount higher. So you're going to come across more generators and manifesting generators than any other type. The generators are the empire builders. Generators have endurance and they have dedication to become the king or queen of their thing. You got the manifesting generators. They are the dynamic builder who plays with various things and they bring them together that create something different or new. You have the manifestor. Manifestors are the movers and the shakers. They are the person who has so many ideas, and they also have the energy to speak those ideas through to fruition. Then you have the projectors. They are the natural born leaders. They see the big picture. They can see what things could look like if they were as conceivably perfect as possible. Then you have the reflectors. Now, I've done probably around about 150, 200 human design readings, and I've only come across 2 reflectors in all the time. So they are very rare and very special indeed. Reflectors are incredibly sensitive empaths, and they nurture others simply by existing in a slow, mindful way. So let's have a look at them individually. The generator. We know that the generator is a sacral center. So if you look at the picture on the left-hand side, the body graph, there's a red square, and that red square is obviously colored in red, and that is the sacral center. So that is giving the generator that sustainable energy for the sacral center. If you would like to go more into detail of the centers, come to any of my workshops, whether it's online or in person, and we will be going into these centers much more deeply. But for now, the generator is here to love the work they do. Now, that is the most important sentence. So if you are a generator, or if you know a generator, it's about them or about you really loving the work that you are doing. Because when you love the work you do, it's going to be a switch, and it's going to really switch you on, and it's going to give you that kind of energy to continue, and you can go. You have the consistency to keep going only when you are enjoying what you're doing. If you're doing something that you do not enjoy, you are going to lead to burnout, and you're going to be incredibly tired at the end of every day, because you are trying to push a car uphill and the ignition's not on. You know, you're trying to do something, and that your generator, that sacral center, is not being switched on. So you do need to get it switched on. You're going to switch it on by being lit up. Okay. So yes is very important to you. When it's a yes, that is when you are doing something that is correct for you, and really kind of evaluating those areas of your life where you are showing up and doing things that are not yeses. So they are things that are, I really should be doing that. You will be doing that using energy that you do not have, and you are going to end up feeling incredibly tired. And if you do this for a long period of time, you're going to burn your body out. So the strategy of a generator is to respond. You are responding to life. Okay, so this is quite a difficult one sometimes, because society tells us that we need to go out and get life. We need to go and get that, or go and do this, and initiate and instigate and hustle. But as a generator, hustling is not in alignment with who you are. It's about playing. It's about being in life. It's about doing those things that really light you up. And when you're doing that, your aura is being switched on. And when your aura is switched on, it's going to start pulling like a magnet life to you. It's going to start pulling things to you so you can sample them. So it's kind of like saying, oh, do you want to do this now? Oh, do you want to do that now? And you get asked these yes or no questions. So it's up to you to listen to your sacral your gut, listen to your sacral, and when it says yes, yes, now is the time to take part in those things, or to have a chat with that person, share your voice, whatever it is. Now, with every type comes a not self. The not self is an emotion that comes up. Now, when this emotion comes up, it's not a judgment piece. It's an opportunity for you to assess where you're at. It's an opportunity for you to understand how you got there. So for a generator, it is frustration. Frustration is what you feel, is what you say when you are in a situation that is not in alignment with who you are. So when you're in that place, if you are a generator, I would highly recommend you pause what you're doing and assess the situation. Assess, how did I get there? Okay, what can I do to shift this energy? Am I doing something that I don't want to do? How can I change direction? How can I change lanes? How can I less and release? How can I move myself out of it? Okay, so really understanding frustration. So as I said a minute ago, it is not an opportunity for you to shame yourself. It's just an opportunity to assess and to change your lane. Your signature is satisfaction. Now, for a lot of generators, they don't like this word, satisfaction. It sounds very mediocre. And what I would love to invite you to do is to fall in love with satisfaction. You may even want to find a synonym, another word that means the same as satisfaction, but it sounds differently, and you connect on a much higher level to it. So satisfaction for me is really kind of like its stomach, its belly, because we're talking about the sacral center here. We want to switch the sacral center on. How are we going to do that? We're going to do that by literally satisfying our stomachs. Okay. So when we're connecting to satisfaction, we're going to be turned on. We're going to be lit up. So that is something that you say to yourself every morning as a generator is, what can I do today that's going to satisfy me? Another great thing that you can do is to take a look at past things that you have done, people that you've spent time with, situations where you felt satisfied. Write them down and start making a list of those things that satisfy you. Manifesting generator. So manifesting generator is a type of generator, but they have an element of manifesting energy inside of them. We know that manifestor is another type. Now, with a manifesting generator, they will always have a motor connected to their throat. Generally, this is from the sacral. A pure manifesting generator is somebody who has the 3420 channel. So with it, as when you are a manifesting generator, you are a powerful source of sustainable energy. You have that sustainable energy like a generator does. But the difference here is that you are not linear. You do not move from A to Z. Okay, you don't even start at A. You can start right in the middle. Then you go backwards, you move forwards, you go up, you go down, you go in all different places. You may then stop doing that thing, go and start something different, come back to that thing, coming back at it at a completely different angle. And that's what it's all about. It's about you really kind of embracing that non-linear, that multitasking, and that really out of the box way of being and that way of thinking. Because by you doing that, you're showing the world and you're showing society how to live a really playful and dynamic life. Now, this is 100% against society. This is 100% against how schools teach you to be. So for a manifesting generator, you know, you've got to remember that with any type, it's none of the stuff is going to necessarily come easy to you, because you have chosen to step into this particular way of being. So there are going to be challenges. So for a manifesting generator, you probably find that you're going to find it challenging, that you can't stick to one thing, that you can't be linear, that you want to do lots of different things, because that's what you're here to do. So it's about really embracing that multifaceted person that you are. Diamonds are multifaceted, just saying. So your strategy as a manifesting generator is to respond, so the same as a generator, but then you also are going to inform. Very, very much so if you have the 3420 channel, inform, inform, inform. So once your body has responded, okay, you're then going to inform. You are going to share with your community or with those people around you of, if what you're responding to is going to impact people, you're going to inform them. Okay, you're going to let them know what you're doing, to share. It's kind of like whatever's going on in your head, you're allowing it to come out of your mouth and to share, to give color to a situation. You're not sharing because you need them to say yes or no. That what they say is not relevant right now. You're sharing to inform, to let them know of what you're doing. Now, your emotional archetype as a manifesting generator, the not self, is frustration and anger. Frustration comes up when you haven't responded. So when that comes up, it's an opportunity for you to assess the situation. Anger is when you haven't informed, when you find yourself getting angry about something. It's kind of another opportunity to kind of assess the situation that you are in. Your signature as a manifesting generator is both satisfaction and peace, but satisfaction comes first. Like responding comes first, satisfaction comes first. So you are aligning to what is going to satisfy you. What are you going to do today that's going to satisfy you? What are you going to create? If you are into vision boarding, or if you're into manifesting or anything like that, it's about connecting to the things that satisfy you. Okay, the people, the places, the experiences, really connecting into your gut, those things that really make you feel good. A manifestor. So manifestors have the ability to act independently, to initiate action, and to impact others. Their throat is directly connected to motor center. So because of that, they really can manifest. They can really put out anything, that energy that's going to start things, whether it's conversations, business ideas, absolutely anything. And they have a very quick, speedy way of being. Manifestors are here to make that impact. They are here to flick the dominoes, and the dominoes fall down. They are somebody that will say something in a crowd and the crowd will be like, what did you just say that? But it's having that impact and sharing that idea, and it's going to start getting people thinking. Okay, so they can be out the box. Now, the thing with a manifestor is that not everybody is going to connect to their idea, but they so want everybody to connect to their idea. They so want everybody to love what they're doing and to really kind of be on board. So their challenge in this lifetime is to really kind of be in their power, be there and share their vision and share their ideas, and really enjoy the fact of whoever has come on board with them, and not trying to spend their time scooping up other people who don't want to be there. They are there, whether they are there with one person or whether they are there with 50 people. For to them, that is their lesson in this life, is to really kind of embrace their power, really embrace their being, and they're sharing their ideas and loving anybody who wishes to come on, and not trying to people please their way through. So they are here to inform. Like I said, for the manifesting generators, you're not here to ask permission. You're informing people to say, hey, this is my idea. And, if you want to come along and be in this idea with me, I'd love you to come along. And knowing full well that everybody who's there who wants to be there. When you find yourself angry, it's because you've potentially not informed, okay? Now, a lot of manifestors that I speak to, it's kind of like they make that assumption that, well, it's so obvious that, I always, let's say, you go into the supermarket and you always go to the supermarket on a Wednesday at 3:00, okay? That's what you do. So it's obvious. Of course, I'm going to the supermarket, but you've not informed everybody. So you get back from the supermarket and somebody says, oh, did you get any milk? And you're like, well, and you start getting angry because you didn't inform them. Okay. So your way of thinking is so quick and so brilliant, but making sure that you're always adding color to the space that you're in. And when I say color, I mean words. Really sharing your voice, allowing yourself to talk, really letting people around you knowing what you're doing so that they can be party to it and they know exactly what is going on. If you are wanting somebody to do something, especially if you're in a working environment, you're wanting somebody to do something, don't just assume that they're going to do it, because trust me, they more than likely won't, and you will end up being angry. So it's up to you to ask them, to share with them, please, whoever's sharing the link to that Zoom meeting we had the other day, can you please make sure that you send it to all the attendees? So then they're going to do it and they know exactly, you won't end up feeling angry. Peace is your signature. So being at peace, what experiences bring you peace? What people bring you peace? What actions bring you peace? So really connecting into peace and how you can allow peace to show up in your day-to-day life. Projectors. Projectors are intuitive and they are a great source for insight. Projectors are here to be recognized by other energy types. And this is when they are empowered to use their natural potential to guide and direct. Now, the thing with all non-sacrals is that your energy levels operate in a slightly different way. You are so here to show up consistently, but the way that you do it is probably going to look different every single day, every week. So it's about you really having a great awareness of how my energy is, and also for those people around you to understand how your energy shows up, and to know that it's perfectly okay for you to go off and have some time out and relax, whatever that looks like for you. It's not necessarily going to bed and sleeping, but it might be that you need to pull away from a group environment and be on your own and be outside, or go and have a meditation, or go and do something that's really going to allow you to kind of cleanse your way of other energies. Now, the thing with a projector is that their strategy here is to be recognized, and then when they're recognized, they're going to be invited to share. So waiting for that invitation. The recognizing piece is really big here. And what's really interesting is the projectors that I have found that find it difficult being recognized by others, they generally don't recognize themselves. So really, if you are a projector, I want you to begin to truly see yourself, really seeing your gift that you've got to give to this world, because when you begin to see yourself, others will see you. And when you are waiting for the invitation, when you are waiting to be recognized, you're not sitting around. This is for any type. You're not sitting around doing nothing, okay? You are playing. You're doing things that bring you joy. You are, let's say you're an artist. You continue to paint. You're continuing to really fulfill that passion that you have, and then people come along and recognize you. You're not just stopping waiting for somebody to acknowledge you. So this is your invitation, if you are a projector and if you are watching this, to really engage in that thing that lights you up. Your not self is bitterness. So bitterness will show up when you have not waited for an invitation, potentially. It may be that you are watching somebody, you've observed somebody in the way they're doing something, and they've not asked you for your opinion, and you've just gone and given it. And they've either not heard you, they've not listened, they've dismissed it, and then you end up feeling bitter. Okay. So it's about really kind of waiting for that right time in sharing your opinions to other people, with other people. And it might be that you actually offer it up and you say, you observe somebody and they're trying to do something and they're struggling, and you go, you know, I can see you really struggling with that task over there. If you want any support, or if you want to hear how I think it could make, I could make it easier for you, then let me know and ask me, and then leave it at that and walk away. Okay, so you've put it out there, and if they don't ever come to you and they continue week in and week out battling with it, it's that lesson to just step out of it and step away from it. Okay, so your signature is success. So it's about you really connecting to, what does success look like? How does success show up? How can you connect to success on a day-to-day basis? Now, success is not necessarily earning money. It's success for you may look like that you actually drank 3 bottles of water that day, and that made you feel really good, and that felt really success, because up until now you've really battled to be consistent with your water intake. Success might be that you were able to put together the most spectacular collage of photographs that you had taken, and it just made you feel really good when you looked at it, and you could really kind of acknowledge to yourself and recognize your own gift, and that made you feel really good. So really connecting to your success statements, your value pieces, how you are here to show up in this world. So reflector. You have the ability to read a person's energy without taking it all in too deeply. The reflector is like a canary in the coal mine. They're here to sample and reflect the quality of the environment on any given day. And they are really able to recognize if someone is ready to step out and express their uniqueness. They are going to reflect you. So they are able to really sense how another person or people, a community, are feeling or thinking or experiencing. So they're really kind of tasting everybody's energy as they move through their day. Now, the strategy of a reflector is to move through a lunar cycle. Now, as a manifesting generator, I'm not a reflector. I can never be a reflector. But having spoken to other reflectors and having followed other reflectors on social media, I also believe that what they find is it doesn't have to always be 28 days. Sometimes it can be a couple of weeks where they are able to really sit with an idea, to allow themselves to move through before they get to that point where they're like, yes, I can make this decision now. Disappointment is something that will show up as a not self reflector. They hate disappointing others, and you do not want to disappoint a reflector. I do have a reflector that I speak to on a daily basis, and disappointment is big, like any other not self, any other type. But the beautiful thing with a reflector as well is that their signature is surprise, and really being surprised. Like, how does surprise light them up? How can they connect to surprise? And surprise, really watching any type connect in with their signature is so, it's just wonderful. And for me, as a manifesting generator, that satisfaction is something that I'm so acutely aware of. And yeah, so I highly recommend you really kind of understanding your signatures, really understanding your not selves, and kind of journaling. How does it show up for you? anything that I've spoken about now, about each type, whatever type you are, journaling on anything that has stood out for you, and just continuing to reflect on anything, whether something I've said has triggered you or something I've said has given you that aha moment. So strategy, let's look at it again. Generators here to respond. The strength is in the responding, not in the initiating. Waiting to respond is not doing nothing. It is going through life doing what excites you. You're responding in the moment you get out of bed. It's that responding. You know, if a song comes on and you start dancing, that's you responding. Manifesting generator, you're here to respond and to inform. To lead a happy and fulfilling life, you surrender to life showing up for you. You're really dancing with responding to life. And like a manifestor, the MG must also inform in order to stabilize the energy around them. The manifestor is here to inform. You're here to communicate your ideas with those that it will impact. This is not to ask permission, but to invite people along onto your idea. Projector, you're going to wait for the invitation. The waiting is about big invitations such as love, career, moving home. Projectors get big opportunities with spaces in between to rest and to fill up your energy bank. So when you wait for the invitation to be recognized or be asked is when you are heard. So this is when your wisdom is ready to be shared. So really allowing those spaces in between your invitations to rest, to play, and to be, because the invitations are coming, and trust that they are coming if you are playing within your beautiful energy that you are. Reflectors, waiting the 28 days. So for all major decisions, waiting 28 days as you move through each transient gate. So whilst progressing through clarity, you will find it useful to talk through with others, but you're not asking for advice when you're talking through. This is so you can hear your own thoughts and the potential of these thoughts. So how do I use human design? I use human design in my business. I use human design in my personal life, and I use human design with my clients. So if you are a coach or if you hold space for anybody, I highly recommend you getting to understand human design. When we really understand another person, when we're working in that environment, it can really change how you are working with them. It can really change how they then can hear you and hear what it is that you have got to say. And the same with business, how I was trying to run my business as a manifestor and it just wasn't working, and really kind of embracing all those facets that I am as a manifesting generator, all those many different things that I'm here to show. And the way that I do this by looking at my gates and looking at my profile, really understanding how I am here to show up in this world as a business owner and an entrepreneur. And your personal life, really understanding my family, my friends, really getting to know them on such a deeper level, because I know their human design. I know how they are here to show up in this world. I can talk to them in a way that I know it's going to land with them. So what next? You got your group session. This is for sacral beings on the 30th of June. This is where we will go through what it is to be a sacral being, and how to operate as a sacral being. It's going to be looking at the gates of the sacral center and really kind of understanding who you are as a generator or manifesting generator. Then I have a group session. This is in person at the new space called Heal. This is on the 8th of July. This is for absolutely everybody. This space Heal is in Oxfordshire, just outside Clifton Hampden. And we will be looking at all the centers and the chakras to understand how they operate and how they show up for you, whether they are defined or undefined. And for any of you who are looking at this and you wish to go deeper, you can always book a one-to-one session with me where we will go through your chart. What will also happen in those one-to-one sessions is there will be mentoring that's taking place. So it's so much more than your human design, but we will be using human design as a tool to really support you into navigating wherever you are at in this moment in time, and what for whatever arena in your life that you need support with. All this can be done and booked via my website, www.carolindearlove.co.uk. And I'm now going to leave you with this beautiful saying, and it goes like this: when we live in alignment with our true nature, we begin to experience a level of comfort and acceptance for who we are, instead of chasing who we are not. And we are able to live out our real purpose in the world. So thank you so much for joining me. This lovely introduction. And if you have any questions, please do reach out by email at hello@carolindearlove.co.uk.